Hello and welcome back to the channel. Honestly, it's so good to have you here today. Today's video is about something that we all go through at some point. And once again, this is one of those videos that I didn't plan to do, but today I just really feel it. And I also feel that it is important to speak about it because we rarely talk about it honestly. And it's about letting people go, but not with drama or with resentment, but just with truth. Because there comes to a point when you realize that someone that you called friend, it just no longer feels like one. And no matter how many memories you've shared together, no matter how long they've been in your life, you feel it in your body, you feel it in your spirit, and that is just time to release, time to let them go. And today's video is about choosing yourself. Because sometimes choosing yourself means letting someone go. And when that moment finally comes, it's probably one of the best things you can do for yourself. And maybe, just maybe, even for them too. So here is the key. When you think about the people you're connected to, you really have to ask yourself, how do they make me feel? Do they inspire you? Do they uplift you? Do they leave you after those conversations feeling lighter, feeling seen, or feeling supported? That's a good person. That's a good relationship that nourishes yourself and your spirit. But if someone constantly leaves you drained, confused, uneasy, or even if they are a friend, even if they've been around you for years, even if you've shared memories, it doesn't mean like they belong in your life anymore. Actually, so many of us tend to stay quiet for long because we're trying to keep things in peace, we don't want to speak up, so we tolerate the discomfort a little bit. But silence starts to really work against you, and over time that person begins to take that more than just time. It begins to take your energy, your self-worth, and your clarity. Sometimes these people come into our lives not to stay, but sometimes just to teach you a lesson. And when you finally listen to your intuition, and you might have to hear it quite out loud, this is just not good for me. And the moment you stop chasing, the moment that you start explaining, and the moment that you stop waiting, that's the moment that you start honoring your truth. Letting people go, it's not cruel, it's not petty, it's not ghosting them. You are not ghosting them, you're just simply choosing to protect your own peace. And this isn't a story, about anyone else. This is a story about you. You don't need the permission to sleep to protect my energy. Oh, I'm just gonna protect. You don't need to apologize to walk away. You are allowed to outgrow someone many times. And I said this now with fully awareness because I've been through this before. I remember years ago, I got so sick of holding energy that it wasn't even mine, from staying around people who just weren't good for me. And once I almost ended up in the hospital, how sick I got. And I just remember thinking, this is my body telling me the truth that I actually been ignoring. Trust me, if this message finds you on that space of confusion, or in that moment questioning whether you should stay connected with someone, this is your sign. And it's okay to let them go. It's okay to move on without guilt, and it's okay to protect yourself without explaining anything. Actually, quite recently, I got in touch with someone that I used to consider my friend. But the truth is, they've never shown up as one. It was always one-sided. They came around when they needed something, but they never gave anything back. And for a long time I stayed polite, I stayed quiet, I'd made myself excuses, but I've come to the point where I just finally said, I just don't really want that kind of energy in my life anymore. And looking back, I see signs were always there. Every time I was around them, I felt this strange pressure because they were loud, they were overpowering, and they were constantly taking up the space. But not only for me, for everyone. I could never really express myself, never fully, because there's no space for it. And after a while, it just became really clear they weren't here for me. They were here for what I had, what I could offer. And the moment that I stopped offering, they disappear very quickly. And even now, they might say things, oh, come on, we're such a good friends. We know each other for so long. You're one of my oldest friends. But those memories, that's just used as a currency, as a proof, as an excuse to stay closer and to keep asking for more. But listen, that's not friendship, that's not love. That is distraction. And with those type of people, I'm just done. I'm done giving in like this. And there was another time, oh boy, there's so many people around, and it happens to all of us. That's why I really want to bring this to the table. There was another moment of my life that I have some kind of the same experience, and I want to share it as well. I met someone through work, and we came close really quickly. It was an immediate admiration. We both share this feeling of connection. It felt exciting, it felt deeply, it felt familiar. But over time, I started to notice something, that admiration, it wasn't really mutual. There was a sense of it, but mostly from one side. A little bit after, it started to become really focused on me, on what I was doing, of what plans I had, of who I was hanging out with, and if that person wasn't really included in those plans, I could see the shift on the mood, on the energy, on the control. And I remember we were friends, we traveled together, we met each other's families, and we built great memories, and on the surface, everything was beautiful. But underneath, there was a pattern. They were always positioning themselves to the one who gave everything. Oh, I'm here for you. And eventually, that became a bit of a loop of guilt. And I started to hear things like, I've always been there for you. So right now, it's your turn to be here for me. I've always so good to people, but now no one is good to me. And well, this might sound a bit of a fair theory, right? This wasn't about love or about listening. This was about depth and about keeping a score. And this is emotional pressure. And I started to feel this friendship was just transactional. And that's not a friendship. So what happened? I just let it go really quickly. And if you ever had been similar situations, like these ones that I described, because I know many of us have. Trust me, you're not alone. The truth is, there are people who show up in your life, but they don't show up to walk beside you, but to take something from you. And listen, that's not rare, that's part of life. Some people will come to you in moments of need. Some will try to attach themselves to your light, to your presence, to your essence. I remember something that my mom told me when I was a kid. And he said to me, oh, Sus, you're a bright light. You are shining, and when you shine, you attract everything. The beautiful, the lost, and sometimes even the desperate ones. And now I understand what she meant. We all carry light. We all have something powerful inside of us. Spirit, a gift, our own presence. And when you start to really live from that place, people notice. People notice that you're authentic. They notice that you're good. And some people will come to celebrate it. Some will come to uplift you. And some just come to feed from your energy. And sometimes, yeah, it's okay to give. It's okay to share your energy with someone who is in the right place or you feel is right, if you're grounded or if you have enough to give. There is no harm in offering love, time, or support to others. That's actually good. But if that starts to take away your energy, your peace, and you start to feel weaker after the interactions, or if you find yourself anxious, doubting, or heavy after you feel someone, that is the time to protect yourself. That's the time to let them go. Because the truth is, you don't own your light to anyone, especially of those who only show up to dim it or to grab it. When you feel that moment comes, particularly when your intuition starts to speak, when your body feels tense, or when you hear yourself saying, I can't do this anymore, this is too much, listen and get out. Stay away of that person. And that's not cruelty, that's clarity. That is self-respect. That is growth. And well done to you. Get out of there as soon as possible. Listen, if this message has landed good on you, take a moment to sit down with it. You don't have to make a decision right away, but start listening what your body says, what your heart says, because your spirit already knows. And if you have to walk away of someone recently or you're thinking about it, you're not alone. I just did. So get in touch. If you want to talk about it, let me know. Put it on the comments. And if you want to go deeper, I share extra reflections. I have journaling prompts and plenty of coaching support on my Patreon channel. And you can find all the links down below. Liz, thank you for being here. Before I go, stay close of what feels like peace and stay away of what feels like drama. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.